Welcome to another edition of the Unpaved Path Talk. My name is Ngote Agboreno, and I'm your host. Today we have a very special edition. We're moving towards a different turn in the Unpaved Path Talk pathing. We're going towards those who are interested in investing in more of a charitable entrepreneurship, those who are interested in helping others, in investing in helping others. And so today we have our main speaker. We have our main speaker, Mama Irene Wanzi, all the way from Cameroon, West Africa. She is going to talk about a twist in the Unpaved Path Talk, focusing on a more charitable way of becoming an entrepreneur. And also with us, we have Mr. Peter Wanzi, who eventually is the son of Mama Irene Wanzi. Mama, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's nice to have you here. Mr. Peter, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you. It's kind of weird that you're the one welcoming me to the Unpaved Path Talk.
I know.
I'm used to be the guy telling people welcome and all that stuff. So
yes,
it's good.
welcome.
It's good to sit on this side of the of the table.
Yes, it's nice to have you both. Mama, welcome once again. Welcome. How is the weather? How do you feel? How is America to you?
It's a nice place to be, but this time around, I witnessed snow.
Snow. Oh, okay.
Too much cold.
Oh.
And,
Yeah, I guess you are in one of those states that is I think winter is 6 months, then summer 6 months, or is it winter 6 months, then you have like 2 months of summer. So yes, it gets really cold here, even during spring and summer. So welcome, Mama. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Mama, you one of the specialists in creating child welfare, child help, child support back in Cameroon. And you do have one of your centers that is focusing on molding those people that feel like children is a burden to them, and they leave them on the streets and they abandon them and they drop them off the streets. And you're one of those people who pick them up, give them education, give them health care, send them to school, feed them, and do all those sort of things. It's amazing. And you have a center called Divine Providence back in Cameroon. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, but before we go into your center that takes care of all kids that are lost, kids that are abandoned by parents and people, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I am a Cameroonian and from Bafut.
Oh, nice.
Bafut is found in the Northwest region, and we are settled in Bafusa.
Okay.
Yes, before doing this work that God inspired me to do,
Okay.
I was working, but due to the love of these children, I had to drop
Okay.
and continue to cater for these children. So I work hand in hand with the social affairs,
Okay.
and the center is approved by the government. So when we have any difficulties, we go to the
government.
for assistance, and it is really a pleasure doing this work because it comes out of the heart.
Awesome.
Yes,
That's amazing.
Yes,
That's
it comes
amazing.
from the heart.
Yeah, Mama.
So-
We are really, really touched. It's so hard to raise a child, and to know that there is someone out there who is willing to accept whosoever comes in front of them, get these kids that are lost and show them the right path to follow is amazing. So, so based on your story, Mama, did you, when you were growing up as a young girl, as a young woman, did you have that dream of owning an orphanage, of creating a center that takes care of kids?
No, it's something that happened. I don't know how I can explain, but I usually had some kind of fire
Okay.
burning in my heart to take
To
care
help
of
children.
Yeah, to take care of kids.
That's amazing.
So this fire was really burning that at night I cannot sleep. I was so disturbed. So I had to tell some priest,
Okay.
spiritual,
Leader.
to help me.
Okay.
So they told me that if it is what God wants you to do, just go ahead and do it. So I decided to make a Thanksgiving Mass at home.
Okay.
My parish priest, by then, he was there, and one priest in Bamenda.
Okay.
They came to where the center is now.
Okay.
So they made a Thanksgiving Mass. After the Mass, they blessed the compound, blessed the house, and that fire was not there any longer.
Anymore.
Yes. And then I had no child. There was no child there, like an orphan.
Okay.
So I asked God, okay, the fire
it's no more burning.
Not more burning.
So what
Where
next?
are the children?
What next? What next for me?
So I said, where are the kids? Where are they going to come from? So you know how that big man works.
Yes.
So after 1 month, these kids started coming.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, nice, Mama.
Yes.
It's very nice. The details you have for us is so amazing. It's so amazing what you're doing. So why the name Divine Providence?
Well, the name just happened that name should be Divine Providence because it's from God.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It's from God.
So it's God's doing.
Yes, it's God's doing.
So he has all the glory.
Yes.
Amen. Amen. Okay, so Mama, where is your center located? Where is Divine Providence located?
It is located in Bafoussam, in a quarter. I can call it a quarter. We call it in French quartier.
Quartier. So like a street.
Yeah, it's a quartier. In Jelen 3.
Okay.
Jelen 3.
Okay.
And it is under Bafoussam 2.
Okay.
Yes.
So Bafoussam, I'm guessing Bafoussam 2 is like a district that controls that community.
Yes, that community.
Okay. Yes. Amazing. So how many kids do you have there?
For now, there are 28.
Wow. 28 kids. That's amazing.
I have 28 kids.
How many girls? How many boys?
The number of girls we have altogether, there are 28. And the girls are 16.
Okay.
And the rest of the
are boys. Awesome. Nice. So, Mama, these are kids that, people bring to you or people drop off your door. Do you have kids of your own?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3 kids?
Even you.
Oh, of course. I'm your son as well. And we want to switch a little bit to, I see Mr. Peter there is seemingly your son.
Yeah.
I want to affirm that. He's your son?
Yes.
Okay. Is he your first child?
I had to wait for her to confirm.
Yes, I had to wait for her to confirm. They say only the mother knows the son. Only the mother.
I could be sitting like this when I'm maybe one of the kids that they brought.
Maybe you're one of the kids from the orphanage.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Peter, welcome to the show again, and thank you for bringing Mama to us so that we can discuss something important in our community, something that others are interested in, but yet they don't have that courage. They have no idea, no clue on how to make that bold step into getting that. So, how was this for you? When Mama finally called you and say, Peter, this fire in my heart is telling me to get this center open?
I think the very first thing I experienced was like anxiety. That was the very first thing. I was very anxious but what is this new thing that she wants to do? And I remember at the time I was in boarding school. I was like in high school, so I wasn't even at home. Okay. So I was not at home when the whole thing kind of like really started. I remember I just came back from school one time for break.
Yep.
And then I just started seeing kids like in the house. So the Divine Providence Orphanage it's not a center that's been built somewhere else, and then my mom kept us somewhere else, and then the kids were
Somewhere else.
We were like in the same
So
house.
in the same area, in the same compound.
No, the same house. So it's like
it's like a house.
It's
they
like
have
a
their
house.
own rooms.
Yeah, it's like a house that
that's amazing.
She like turn into the orphanage. So you can imagine for a guy coming back.
You saw your space crowded.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine a guy coming back from school, and then you get home now, and then you don't have a bed any longer.
Yes.
You don't have a room any longer.
Yes.
And then you're like, where's this guy from? They're like, mom's like, so this kid was abandoned. I woke up the other day. I found this baby at the gate. So, and I just like brought the baby in. I believe someone probably abandoned the child there very late at night, and then I got the child. The interesting thing is, the orphanage began with children of. It would be amazing to see those kids now. If you look at them now, you will not even believe, because they were like babies, like zero to like 5
years old.
So they're not like big guys. It's not
wow,
like
that's
not
amazing.
Yeah, so it's not like orphan. It's not like you had like this 14 years old guys who already knew what to do and stuff like that. So they just got home, and then they were like babies in the house, and then just babies like crying all over, like at night, like you just imagine them just crying all over the place. So I was like very anxious, very, very anxious. I was anxious first for the finances. I was like,
how is she going
how is she going to keep up with all these kids? Like how is she going to? I'm still in school. I've not even gone to the university yet.
Yes.
So if you're getting all these kids, how you going to support like my fees and my
your feeding
and my siblings and other things? So that was the very first thing that got me like very, very anxious. The second thing that got me in the kind of panic mode was like these are kids. You don't know what if they have maybe some condition, some kind of health condition. You don't know if something happens to them here. I came back, I was like, are there any legal papers for you to like have these kids in here? My mom was like, no, there are no papers. I'm like, this thing can get us like in serious trouble. If something happens with these kids, what are we going to do? And that's when I began to understand the reason why she picked the name like Divine Providence. Because till now, I don't know how this thing has been running. It's been like maybe 11 years now with 12.
Wow.
That's been running, and I have no clue how
she has
the
managed
days, how the days just like roll over from one day to the next, and how nothing changed in my life. Like I still went to school, I still did everything I had to do, and nothing. She didn't like change the job or have a big new income that was coming. Nothing but the kids were just like taken care of. Something was just happening. People were just like floating in and helping, which is the thing that I believe she's like someone who has that experience in this particular domain, because it's one of those things that is hard to get people. The people are like scared
of it. Yes, that's what I was saying. People are scared of the unknown. And they are like, how do I manage the unknown?
Yes.
I don't know. They are babies, you know.
Yes.
Like you said, they can have illnesses that we cannot say, and some of them cannot talk.
Yes.
They only cry. So what do I do if they're crying? How do I manage it?
How do you now you cannot breastfeed them? They are like babies. I remember before leaving and going back to school. I remember there was this girl. I believe her name was like Abinyo, because
Ruth.
Oh, Ruth Abinyo. She was like how old was she?
Just 2 hours after delivery.
Yeah, just imagine.
Oh my God.
2 hours.
2 hours after delivery.
2 hours after delivery, I'm like, you don't even have breast milk again. How are I going to give these kids to? What am I going to give these kids to? How are they even going to grow normally? Yeah, but if you see the pictures of even me, when I look at the pictures of Ruth today, I'm like, wow. Things have. So it's like, divine providence. I believe that's
amazing. Mama, we're going to come back to you for a little bit, and we want you to tell us how is a typical day for you? How do you go about managing the orphanage? You didn't mention that first you had no support, and I'm not sure you still have support. You had no support, and you had to register your orphanage with the council, the government, and make sure that you follow the laws and make sure that you give them health care. So how do you manage this these challenges? How is it for you? Because listeners out there, they sometimes are scared of that aspect of an orphanage. How do I go about it? So can you enlighten us?
Yes, all is faith.
Okay.
Yes. Because if you love something, God will show you the way.
Okay.
Because when I was working at night, I would say, but I would leave these children who
Go to work.
yes, and go to work.
Okay.
At times, there were 3 little girls to feed them. 2 months, 6
I
months.
can imagine.
Yes. And 3 months, I would sit on the ground with these 3 girls. I put them, and then I'll feed, just like that. So the kind of work to that I was working,
Okay.
I was you call it a cashier in French.
Okay. Cashier.
Yes, cashier.
Okay.
Additional money.
Yes.
So you were giving money to people. You were giving people
Yes.
the thing that make them smile.
Yes, and it is something that is a kind of work that you cannot leave and ask somebody to do it for you. It's not usually paperwork. It's money, and you just fill some record. So, but it happened that I was succeeding well. I was really succeeding in work. At work.
Okay.
And then at home, one morning I said that I would leave these children and go to work. Who will care?
Okay.
Because some of the time I'll just get up in the morning and ask one girl in the quarter, please come and stay at home. Please come and stay at home and help me before I come back from work. So one day I got up and asked that, hey, Papa God, how can you give me something to do without a helper? So the following day, one mama just knocked at the gate. I'm looking for work.
Amazing.
Yes. So I just took her, and she was taking care of the kids. Then
so you employed her.
Yeah, I employed her.
Your employee.
Yes, I employed her, and she was taking care of the children. And then it became worse when I was transferred to Bangante.
So you had to move.
Yes, I had to move. And by then, at least we are stable now.
Yep.
I had some good ladies who are taking great care of these kids.
Okay.
And I pay them.
Okay.
And honestly, we live on charity.
Wow.
Yes, we live solely on charity.
I'm just having a glimpse of what that could be for you. Like not working, and maybe your entire life savings is what you used to get them milk, food, get them clothes, send them to school, and try to make sure that they have the basic healthcare they need. And oh my God, that is amazing. That is amazing. I know it is really challenging, and it is important that you're giving us these details that people who are out there can get some of this information to help them set out, to help them reach out and help those who are in need, get those children off the street.
Yeah.
So it is an amazing work you're doing. Like you said, it is divine's work. It is God's work.
It's God's work.
It's divine's providence. And that is where your name is coming from. And Mama, we want to switch a little bit to what are some of the challenges you have running your orphanage? Like, what is a crazy day for you? What is a difficult day for you? What is a very hard day for you that you have to maybe whoop a child? You have to use the cane.
Kids are the same.
Okay.
Yes, they have their weaknesses and
their strengths.
Yes, their strength. They are stubborn. At times, they'll go to school, come back. They don't have their bags. Their books are all torn. Even see one page in a child's bag. So you have to beat.
So they'll just go to school and leave whatever they took to school
they just
there
forget.
and come
back home. I'm sure all parents are having this. This
I did it when I was growing up as a kid too, as well. There are days that I'll forget my uniform in school because we were boys. We play shirtless, so we take off our jackets and keep them somewhere. After playing soccer, they call it in the United States soccer. After playing football for a while, what happens is that you're so happy you're going home. You're happy you're going home. You're thinking of food that mama has prepared. And when you get home, they're like, where's your uniform? And you're like, oh my God, where did I keep it? And it's in school. You'll not find it again. So my mom has her whip. It's very long. You cannot escape it. She sends and it gets you from wherever you are.
Sure.
And because the truth is that the same next day, and which is the same thing that's happening for you, the same next day, you have to see a seamstress or a tailor.
Sure.
Say, hey, my son or my daughter has no uniform. We need to get new ones. And that's money. That's money. That costs money. So a typical day for you is that heavy.
Yes. And another thing is when schools have to go back. Yes.
Resumption of
school. Yes. Wow. Because for now there are 18 of them schooling.
18?
Yes, there are 18.
Oh my God.
There are 18 schooling. You have 8 in the secondary school.
Wow.
And the rest
in primary.
Wow. So you see, it's really challenging. It's very difficult.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So that brings us to this aspect of support. You did mention that most of it is coming from charity. Here in the United States, they have things a little bit different from what we have in Cameroon. So a typical Cameroon community is different from a typical community in the United States. So how is the government's impact, despite the fact that you went out to them, you reached out to them to let them know that, hey, I got some kids here. I want to make it legal, that I have a center that I take care for the less privileged, the abandoned. So how supportive is the community and the Cameroon government to your center?
For that aspect of the government, we don't have any subvention. Yeah, I've never had it. Perhaps they usually give, but
it doesn't reach down. It stops somewhere up there.
I've never had it.
God.
Yeah, so their schooling, I'm responsible. And then as God is God, I have a friend.
Okay.
Yes. For the primary schools, because the secondary school students, they go to one school. I make sure I put them all in the same school.
Okay.
And then in the primary school, I make sure I put all of them in the same school.
Cool. Okay.
So I have a friend, a good friend. She's good.
Okay.
So she has volunteered to be feeding these children when they are going to school and giving them snacks.
Oh my God, yes. That is amazing.
Yes,
that is amazing.
You can imagine how they could
I know, kids. Yes. They get hungry like every 10 minutes.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, every 10 minutes.
Yes. And when schools are coming, she would kind of make sure she stitches their uniform. And there's one other papa volunteer. She's somewhere in California.
Okay.
So for the first children.
Set of kids, yep.
The first children who went to secondary school, students.
Okay.
So he has volunteered to pay their fees from 1 to from 5.
Wow, amazing. To give them that base.
Yes, that's
basic education.
Yes, that's why I say we live on charity.
Charity.
Yes.
Oh, God has been good. God has been good. That's nice, Mama.
Live on charity.
That's nice. I
I'm
see.
so grateful for them.
Yes. I think charity is what we all have to reach out, you know, and do and put a support. I'll come to that in respect to maybe you have some kind of a funnel or a channel that people can support you. People, listeners out there want to chip in something to help support those kids and make their life better. I will come to that so that you can give us that information, because I myself, I would like to chip in something, you know, to send something to those kids when you're going back, you know, maybe a small bag. Great. You know, when I was a kid, whenever my mom or my dad is coming back from a trip, they carry what they call bread.
Yeah.
And it's that thick bread, and you're fighting to grab the bag because you know there's something there. Yeah. So I want you to go back with that something in that bag, so that those your kids, the 28 of them, are running to you and they know that there's something in that bag that you have to give them.
Thank you. And
So-
I'm sorry also, there is one of our mama too in Germany.
Okay.
Yes, she's kind of helping in one way
And
or
supporting.
in one way or the other.
Okay.
Yes,
That's nice.
she's in
That's
Germany.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. How do the kids? I know Mr. Wanzi, I know you view her from birth as no mama is natural. How do the kids view you, Mama I? How do they view you? How do they look at you? How do they call you? What are the fun things they do to
They
you?
call me mommy.
Oh, nice. They call you mommy.
I mean, the kids know her as the mom, right?
Yes.
Most of them.
Oh yes, you're
most of them
right.
came
You're right.
when they
Most of
were-
them came when they were like babies, 2
Babies.
hours
Yeah,
old,
yeah,
2 months old, and they've not seen what mom and dad looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I traveled to the US, I knew, like, I don't want to say like I lost my mom, like, put it that way. I was like, there's no way I'm going to. I was like, there's no way I'm going to fight for
a mom
picture
now
in
of
this
many
place,
years,
like,
a mom of
just-
many
Yeah,
kids.
just give up, just forget about it. Because when she like gets back from work, they are like all just like scrambling
All over,
and like
yeah.
all over
All
the
over
place.
her.
So yeah, it's a nice experience just to see how human beings and infant are. I don't want to say the same, but have just the same kind of needs. We all grow almost equal, and then we like kind of like start. I don't want to say differentiating ourselves, but
Yep.
just as we're getting older. But at that
that-
initial stage, that's where, and that's the second level of my anxiety right now, because I know these kids came in, they're very small, it's very tender. We're still like taking care of them, and they're growing up. But at times I think about when they get, because some of them are already like teens, like
Yes.
they're like teens, they will start getting to 18, 19,
Yep.
20, 21 years. And it's going to be, I'm only like anticipating that this is going to be another tough time that you're probably going to
Yes.
be.
You know, teenagers they come with their own trouble. Yes.
Exactly,
They bring their own trouble.
exactly. And that's where I believe where we probably stand it. The center probably needs to start expanding a little bit more, in the sense of, now you cannot support the kids just with food. And now you need more follow up. You have to make sure that the girls know what girls are supposed to know at a certain age. Like, you have to make sure that they are growing.
Social studies.
Yeah,
I would say more of that.
Yeah, doing all
psychology.
You have to make sure you're like
Work on
looking
your
at
psyche,
all
yeah.
the kids and making sure that no one is doing like crazy stuff, and something like one day you want to wake up someday and something has happened, or kid has just like disappeared as they're growing up. But I'm just saying, like, teenagers have their things that happen with them.
They come with their own trouble.
Yeah, so that's where the second level of my anxiety is going to be. And I don't know how, and they are like people who work at the center, but again, they are more of like just helping, making sure that everyone's clean, children going to school, they're eating, but the needs are going to eventually, like,
It's going to start ramping up.
start changing as they get older.
Amazing. Mama, we're coming back to you a little bit on some pertinent issues. Do you ever at one point, or is there ever a day or a moment or a split second in your life that you sat and said, oh, I was not supposed to venture in this. I regret ever starting up a center like this. Is there ever a moment in your life like that?
No,
Amazing.
because I enjoy. It's a passion. I enjoyed it.
So it's more of a passion than the test for a need.
Yes, it's love. You have it there
Okay.
inside your heart.
I think this is going to help our listeners out there and those who are interested in investing in ventures like this, in directions like this. That you have to first have the passion.
No, yeah.
You have to build that passion. If not, you're going to crash.
Yeah, it's not transferable. Even
Yes,
you understand, right? It's not.
It's not something that.
It's not. It's like, I'm not like sitting here because my mom loves orphans, because she loves it.
Yes,
like,
you can do it too.
It's like automatic. No. That's not what's going on here. The truth is, you need to like love it like that, because it is crazy. The amount of, I don't want to say stress, but the amount of challenges that come with this particular part of entrepreneurship. This is kind of social entrepreneurship, but it's very challenging, especially in the context in an African context, or like in specifically in the Cameroon context, where you don't. People are suffering. it's not just the kids who are in the orphan. You understand?
Yes.
So the let's say the poverty is like it's everywhere. It's like it's shared all over the place. Even those who come to the orphanage to support, at times they are equally people who
Going
are
through difficulties.
yeah, who are equally struggling. And my mom made me understand, like right now, like because they get to have a lot of people come in there, give them bags of rice and things like that. Now at some point in time, she has to like get some of the food and like redistribute now again, like in some of the other areas in the city where there are people who are suffering them more than the kids who are like in the orphanage. Okay. So if you don't have passion for it, like
it's not going to work.
No, don't try. Don't try.
Yeah, Mr. Peter, I'm coming to you with this aspect. I know I grew up in a home where I had big brothers. I'm guessing you were acting like that big brother in the house. How was the challenge for you more of? How was the day-to-day activity affecting you as a big brother to the younger ones who are growing up?
Oh, so that's a good question, because I'm generally kind of I don't want to say like I like solitude, but I like when places are a little bit like quiet, when there's like no noise. You understand?
Now you can that's not going to happen.
Now you
for
can
kids.
guess how that's difficult for me.
That's not going to happen for kids.
Having like 15 kids.
They're always running around the place and they're making noise.
So it's very hard. Like I cannot like read a book. I cannot like sit quiet. I cannot like concentrate on anything because the kids are running all over the place, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Even if you were to like whoop one of the kids or whatever. Like
it's not going to change.
After like 5 minutes,
they say next there's someone else. There's someone else who's doing something.
Yeah, they're already all over. They're already all over the place. That's what I'm saying. That is like that's like the first challenge that I would say. But I just like came to understand like that they are like
something you have to deal.
Yeah, they're like kids. Like what kind of
what can you do?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Just try to make sure that if you have any important thing, go figure it somewhere. Try to figure out how to do it there. Don't stay at home because it's not going to work. The other challenge is just like seeing my mom like going through all of these. I don't want to say like technically alone, but like physically being there by herself. Because I'm not like in the orphanage with all the kids and all that stuff. So I usually like try to make sure just to like bring her here so that she can just like take a breather before she goes back into the crazy world. Because at times when I'm like on the phone with her trying to get how she's doing, I'll be on the phone and then she's eating like in the room. I'm like, what's going on? She said she cannot eat she cannot eat like in the common space because immediately she puts food on her plate. And like you just imagine like 40 eyeballs looking at you like
you can 10 to 20 eyeballs looking at you like they have not eaten yet.
So you have to like struggle to figure out where
your own space of eating
where you're going to eat. So she comes back here all the time. She's like pale. She's like very like so.
So you're taking her out.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you need a breathe. Yeah, you need a breathe, and then this is the last one I would say is just being able to like tell people about it without it looking as though you wanted to. I don't know, like as though you wanted to like prove something, or it's as though you wanted to ask for something from people. That's
typical of our Cameroon community. You know, when you share someone your passion, they immediately feel like, oh, you are saying that to them because you want them to do something.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difficulty that at times I kind of have, because I know there are like a lot of people out there who probably one would like help things like this.
Yes, but
at times I feel like very constrained to just tell people about it. Like if you're interested in like helping someone that's like a channel, yeah, you can like reach to me. It feels at times very odd for me to
go out there and send a message.
Out there and like try to like help like tell people know that this is the kind of thing that's going on.
But I think it's more of your personality rather than more of conveying the message, because I think like Mama said, is divine providence, and it's something that God's will is in it.
Yeah, that's what.
God wants it to happen. So at some point, I think we all are supposed to be the messenger of God's will. Send out the word to those whosoever we meet. Like I remember, I was on a phone call with one of our colleagues, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're just from Kenya. We built a big house for an orphanage there." So my colleague left, went to Kenya for 2 weeks and built a whole big house for an orphanage. And the reason they were doing it is because that orphanage was running out of space. And I'm sure, Mama, that is one of the things that, one of the challenges that you're facing. So he left, and his own contribution was to go there and support in the building of that space so that kids can have more room for ventilation. And, sometimes it gets very hot. You want them to be airy and so on, and not clustered around, and you get them sick. So yes, I think it is our responsibility as well to just share it out there. Maybe once in a while, just say, "Hey, this is divine providence. Send your support if you can. Go out there and send your support." And Mama, we're going to come to that. We're going to let you tell the listeners, who are interested in this line of work, who are interested in, helping others, how to set pillars and where they can get their support from, how they can reach out to the community, what they can do to make sure that people don't feel like they are needy, yet it is important that they help them, they support them. So, Mama, before we dive into that, so what are you did mention that some of your kids are in secondary school, others are in primary school. What are their age ranges? What is the least and what's the highest?
The least is 1 year, 6 months.
Wow.
And the oldest is 15 years.
Okay.
And
Okay. Wow. That's 16. Oh my God.
So the 15-year boy came when he was 4 years old.
So it's been there for 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
Roughly, yeah.
More than 12 years.
So the center is 12 years old now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing this day in, day out.
Yeah.
Mama, that's amazing. That's amazing. I used to be with my cousin's daughter, and that's just one kid. And I remember each time I want to take a nap, that is when she wants to jump on me. It's like on me all the time. And I imagine you doing that over and over for 12 whole years. And not just one kid. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's really something about passion. But Mama, how do you manage them? How do you what are the should I say pillars you've set in place to ensure that these your children have the necessary needs, the necessary things how do you monitor their activities? How do you manage their activities? Like, I know boys, for example, in Africa, I can climb a mango tree, a guava tree, and I jump from the sky. There was one time that I actually took my mom's umbrella and I wanted to try what they do in the cartoons. So how do you? Yes, I thought it was a parachute, right? And the good thing about it is that I left the top of the mango tree, and on getting to the ground, my mom was already there. That's the good thing about African mothers. She was already there. She did not catch me. I fell. I was out of breath. And I was hoping that my mom would grab me with compassion and love. But her compassion and love was different. She picked up a guava stick and flogged me well. And the reason she was flogging me was not that I was in pain or I could have injured myself. She was thinking of her umbrella. That's what she used to go to the farm. And if it's raining, how is she going to go to the farm that have destroyed the umbrella? So I'm looking at how do you put safety measures that will ensure that, at least I know it's difficult in Cameroon. It is possible here due to the facilities they have. But how do you put your structures so that these kids are not only having fun while being at home, but also are safe?
I thank God that the the workers that
Okay.
they are back home.
Okay.
Yes, because the house in which I am,
Okay.
I have three rooms. One for boys,
Okay.
and the second for the little kids,
Okay.
little babies.
Okay.
And then I had to rent another somewhere apartment opposite the house for the
Girls.
caretaker and for the girls.
Wow.
So that's how we are.
That way you keep them confined, and there's always someone looking after them.
Yes. So she is there with the girls, and I'm up with the boys and the little babies. That's how we are managing it. In the morning, they come up, we do prayers. At night, we do prayers. They go and sleep. Then we sleep up.
Oh my God!
So
I think that's
how we are living.
Things like the house was like, I remember it was like three
bedroom. Yep.
Yeah, you got my like 3-bedroom for 28 people. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm doing the math. I'm doing the math.
And
because
and
if
one
it is
room
4,
it
will be 7
has.
per. Yes, if it is 4, it will be 7 per room.
Yeah.
But if one room is hers, then we're talking about two rooms.
Yeah, I remember she used to sleep.
This bunk beds.
I mean, even bunk beds, like bunk beds.
Even bunk beds, it's still not going to help.
Bunk beds,
it's still not going to help.
You get 8. Yeah, 4.
Yep.
4 beds. Or 2 bunk beds in each room. So technically, you have 4 beds per room. I remember some of the kids used to sleep like this way. One would sleep this way, and then the other one would
sit down.
Yeah. But we used to do that when we were kids, bro.
Like,
you put some there, and then put
no, but
their legs,
I was kind of like very scared because like the bunk beds, you know, like some guy can like fly. It actually even happened that I remember one day I was sleeping, and then one of the kids like just landed on just left the other the bunk bed
and landed on the floor.
And then she just kept sleeping. I was like, are you okay? She was just sleeping the whole time. Or you're like below, and then the guys up and they're just peeing on you like at night. You're like, gee, like what's going on here? So now, I think what she's told me is the way she's like trying to solve the space issue is you can imagine like again this was not. This is not a center. This is a house. This is a house. This is a home. This is a regular home that has been like turned into all the stuff we're saying. The good thing is just that it was like fenced. Okay. So because
they have an area to
because
go out
at least as it's fenced, it's kind of safe. Yeah, so they can like run all over the place. But now we trying like to take the next door, like the houses, like next door, they have like a space that we could rent, so that she could like send maybe the girls that way, and then one of the caretakers that way, so that she can like help monitor the girls, and then she's like up with the boys and like the little kids because she has to sleep on her bed
with kids,
with like the babies because the ones that are like let's say 0 to 1 or 0 to 2, they sleep on the same bed, so it's like maybe 4 of them. Or, I don't know. I mean, initially it was like crazy because maybe like 5 of them on the same bed with her on it.
Yes.
And then she's probably like just rotating the whole time because once this one stops crying, the next one starts. The next one starts.
Basically, she doesn't have sleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because if one child, when the child stops crying, you can sleep. You can catch some sleep.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that when I first moved here, like my greatest priority, one of them was just like try to figure out a way that she could come here so that she can
relax a little bit.
She can have some time at least to get a breather, and then before she goes back, and then she can
But the way Mama is talking, I'm sure Mama is saying that she's missing those kids a lot, and she's she's even saying that she's on.
That's what I'm saying. That I already like sign up like this. Yes. That like I'm not. Because the kids are like the ones having all the fun. She's having like just like 1 month. She's already complained that she wants to go.
Yes, she wants to go back.
You have like kids too. She's like, you guys are old already. Like, can figure out your life. I don't care what you guys get.
Oh well, Mama, we're coming back to you. And this time, we want you to help our listeners out there, those who are followers of the Unpaid Path Talk, and those who are interested in investing in social entrepreneurship to build a society to incorporate to help those who are weak, those who are vulnerable, those who have nothing, like you are doing. So, if you were to give 3 or 4 pieces of advice on the things they need to think about before they jump into a business or an adventure like yours, what are the key things you tell them to do before they think about that? I know you did mention about they should have that passion, and it should be from God. So what other aspects can you add to them?
Did you say love?
Oh, I did not say love. So love is one of the ingredients.
Very powerful.
Okay.
Yes. And they should look up to God.
Okay.
The first thing is God now.
Okay, obviously.
Yes.
Obviously.
The first thing is God, because He is the person sending you to do this work.
Okay.
By your might, you cannot do it. Yes, by your might, you cannot do it, because at one moment I used to feel that they are angels.
Just looking after you.
Yes, just looking after those kids and looking after us. Because when a child cries
Yes.
at night, or a baby cries at night,
Yes.
you just wonder you should feed or change.
Or change.
And then after you put that child on the bed, the child will just sleep. And there's another thing that I would like to tell anybody who love doing this work, because you should base on faith.
Okay.
Very important.
You have faith.
Yes.
That is
faith.
going to be
Don't
well.
be afraid.
Have
Yes.
faith that all is going to be well.
Yes. Don't be afraid, because honestly, there are challenges. There are terrible challenges in doing this work. But just have faith and it will go. Just pop like that, it will go. Yes. And if you succeed this trial, then everything is fine.
It's amazing, Mama. It's so wonderful that you're giving the insight of how to set up a center like yours. It's very important that our listeners out there who are interested in this type of work, like you say, it's work.
It's work.
It's more than work. I think it's like 500% of your time you have to spend. It's your life, it's your entirety.
Yes.
So you have to be there completely involved and in love and engulfed by the actions and the activities of that. And it is really, 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 really amazing that you can sacrifice that much for someone you don't even know, someone you just meeting for the very first time. Someone that was dropped. I'm guessing most people just come and drop it at the door and you don't even know who drops it off.
Yes, at times.
Wow.
And at times there are people too who give birth like in the hospitals, like in Cameroon. No, the maternities they are not like as secured as they are. Like so some lady can just go to the hospital, give birth, and then disappears. So when that happens, they maybe keep the kid there for like a day or two, and then they're like figuring out like the parent hasn't shown up. Then she's generally the person they kind of call and be like, oh, there's like a kid here that has been abandoned or something. Yeah, so.
Oh my God. That's amazing that you have to go to the hospital to get it from. You know, it's amazing that if there's no one showing up, the child services comes. And there's amazing,
like
amazing. and you doing all this without government support, I'm imagining.
No.
Oh, that is so amazing. And like you said, I think it is divine's grace.
Yeah,
God's grace.
And the other thing is she's not. I don't say Divine Providence is the only orphanage in Cameroon, and I don't want to say generally in Africa, with sub-Saharan Africa, but orphanages generally don't get a lot of
attention
of the kind of support that they need from the state. And I know like the state is probably equally struggling with all the things that they have going on, but it's Divine Providence Orphanage is not different from probably all the other orphanages in Cameroon that's probably facing the same issues.
That's true.
Facing the same difficulties. And the founders of those orphanages are probably having this
similar challenges.
This similar kind of experiences. So maybe it's like an admonition that the those who are like in charge for taking care of this kind of thing, they should like pay a little bit close attention to these centers and like try to like help them in a way they can, because as I said, as these children are growing up, I'm beginning. I have like the next stage of anxiety that as I said, they're going to get to a point where they are in. They're going to college, or the girls are like 20 years. They start experiencing different things like with their bodies. They start
puberty starts sitting in and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need now a lot more resources than
to help support.
Yeah, yep. Because most people who come to the orphanage, as I said, there are people who are equally struggling. So someone maybe has a farm and they've harvested corn. Yes. So on their way back, they can just stop at the center and then just drop some corn there, and then they leave and they go. Somebody can drop like rice or plantains, whatever the thing is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good for keeping it up. But now when
other needs,
that can cover what they have to when they get to the 10 years or the 11 years old maybe. And as they start getting older and older and more mature, the needs are going to change drastically. Yes. They'll start needing different things altogether. They will start needing some kind of more support. You have to follow them a little bit more closer. You have to make sure, how do they interact with other kids out there who have this kind of things and they are unable to have them? Yeah. How do you educate them to make sure that they all kind of understand that they might not be able to have all the things the other kids have,
the others.
But they still have to learn how to maybe have to sacrifice some things from
how to share, how to sacrifice,
and things like that, so that they don't like go out of the way
feel frustrated or go out of the way.
Yeah, so that's not food. That's not
food cannot solve that.
Food cannot solve that. So you need more. You need more at that point, and which is like more of the level where we need most of this kind of institution. All other maybe kind of NGOs who like do in this kind of thing,
like centers and all that.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, NGOs that are doing this kind of things can like help to like help support some of these centers in closing up the gap for some of those things, because you can go wild as they get older.
Yes, I know. Teens have different requirements compared to toddlers and.
What about even like the college like the college phase, like
college phase?
How now you heard there's like a benefactor who is like willing to pay their tuition from
1 to from 5. That's when like getting their basic general education certificate of
once that is level. Once that is completed, what was
the next step for them?
What is the next step? So
who's going to take over that stuff?
It's going to happen because that's how it's been happening for like 11 years. Somebody is going to still pop up, or somehow something is going to happen. I'm not
God's grace.
God will help.
I'm not 100%. I'm not very anxious that it's going to like go south. Something is going to happen that's drastically going to change the orientation of their lives, but it's just something that if we like a little bit better prepared for, we can address them in the future. So yep.
Amazing. So, Mama, that brings us to the section that you maybe will give the audience, to give the listeners out there the opportunity to reach out or to help you. So, if you're asked what 3 major things, what 3 big things do you need at this moment to help you support these kids? What are the 3 major aspects or things that you want to put in Divine Providence Orphanage to help these kids be better, to help these kids grow better, to help these kids with maybe healthcare or schooling? Like we know some people are volunteering, but you are working behind the scenes to get the pillars that they can lean on when this support is not there, right? We know support will always come by God's grace, but we want you to tell us what are the 3 things, if they're asking you what. Or maybe let's say if the government comes to you today and say, hey, we want to support you. Tell us 3 things you want us to do for you. So what are the 3 key things you want us, the listeners who want to help you, who want to support the charity foundation you have, who wants to support Divine Providence? What are the 3 things you're asking from us?
Well, thank you so much. This is a pertinent question. We need space.
Okay. Space.
Space.
Yes, I guess like he mentioned, they are growing,
Yeah, space.
and more kids are coming. The ones that are there are not leaving, and more
Yeah,
more are
there's no way
coming.
80 years are going to sleep
Yeah.
like
Yes,
this again on the place. Like,
yes.
it's not good.
We need space. We need a good house,
Okay.
and when we want to go out, we need a bus.
Oh, like you go to church, go to
Yes.
playgrounds.
Because at times I used to hire three taxis
Wow.
to take us
Wow.
somewhere.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so
Nice,
yes.
nice. So, Mama, that is amazing. So, I see you have a space project that you're looking at. So, building
yes.
an official site out of the house
Yes.
setup that you have, which is amazing. Like I mentioned, one of my colleagues actually had to go out there. So, if there's someone who wants to support in any of those your projects, how can they reach out? Do you have like a website? Do you have like a charity funnel that people can send their contribution directly to? Or is there something you're still working on that you want the audience to know?
We have an account in the bank.
Okay.
Yes, that's African land.
Okay.
I think it's international African land.
Okay.
Bank.
Okay.
Yes, I because this is one of the main documents when you are compiling your documents for the government to approve.
Okay. You have to have a bank account meant for that
for the
orphanage itself, and not your private account that used to manage it.
Yes. So we have that.
It makes sense. Okay. So people can send their support directly to the bank account that you have.
It is there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing.
I don't know if that's which other means do you have again? I know there's like the Afriland Bank account in Cameroon that she uses, that the orphanage uses for financial transactions, and there is like this service, like mobile kind of service too as well, that people use most of the times because it's flexible and it's fast.
It's fast too.
I think in Cameroon they call it Momo, right?
Yes, Momo.
Momo. They do that.
Yes.
Yeah, we equally created like a PayPal kind of thing.
Oh, we have a PayPal account.
Yes,
yeah, I think that will work for most people who are international ones to support.
Because I like all the complications you can have, like with maybe Afriland that is maybe based. I mean, that is there's like billing in Cameroon. You don't know if your bank here or wherever in the world is going to accept the direct transaction or like. So we have like a PayPal as well that like just kind of like solves that, which we're going to like put like in the description of this video, so you can like check that like in the comment section. Okay, yes, it will be good that you have the account number, and so for those who are in Cameroon wants to support, wants to go directly to the bank, or if you have like a I think they use Momo too as well sometimes in Cameroon. Those who want to support that way. And then the PayPal will go a long way too. For some of us who are here, I cannot do Momo. I don't have that option to do Momo somehow through my account. So I can help, can support too as PayPal. So Mama, thank you so much for that insight. I think I'll leave it at this point to let you say a few words to the audience, to the listeners, and what your general impression is about being a founder of a charitable foundation, and what you advice you're sending out to all the listeners out there, what advice you're giving to them as a mother with many kids. 20 because I'm not counting the 3 kids you said you had. I'm counting 28 plus the 3 is gonna be like 31. I know, I'm
31. Oh, you're not one of the kids anymore. So what advice as a mother you have for the on Pave Path Talk listeners and audience, and what advice do you have for people too who are also interested in joining the charitable path, the unpaved charitable path?
The unpaved charitable path.
Guys, it looks like you guys want to create your
own. What can I say? It's the heart that gives.
Okay.
It's the heart. And then when you are giving, don't say it is small.
Okay.
Because when the heart says give, just give.
Okay.
Yes, just give. Because you don't know what that that
giving
lady.
is doing.
Yeah.
Nice. That's nice to hear.
Yes.
That's nice to hear. So, okay, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this episode. We want to thank you immensely for staying with us and for listening to this vital aspect of the Unpaved Path Talk. And we want to thank especially Mama Irene Wanzi for joining us today, and as well his son, the son of Mama Wanzi, Mr. Peter Wanzi, for being part of the show and for walking us through something that is still in the dark, that people are scared about, people are scared to dive into. So thank you very much for joining us. You do have a splendid rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Like, support, share.
Talk, like, support, share.